I now have the distinct pleasure of introducing one of our top-notch sophomores, Zariah Lowe.
Hello, everybody. Wow, this is different than when I saw the empty room yesterday. Well, good morning. My name is Zariah Lowe, and I am a sophomore at Edison. My learning difference is reading, which I will talk about later. I remember early in school, there was a teacher that was very aggressive with me. She would literally push and pull me around the classroom. She would sit me in a corner while she taught the other students. She asked my mom, "Is there a medical reason why I couldn't pay attention?" My mom said, "No." The teacher then said, "Once you tell me what kind of learner she is, then we can talk." Fortunately, my principal and my school counselor stepped in and moved me to another teacher. Thank goodness. This all happened in the first grade. Another thing I remember early in school is constant bullying from a girl named Myra. She and her friends harassed me for about 4 to 5 years, all throughout elementary. They made my life miserable. In 3rd grade, I recall being taken into the hallway so I could have my reading level tested, like standard. She told me that I was reading at a 1st grade level. I knew then it made me feel bad, and I still remember it. It bothers me. Earlier I talked about my reading difference. Primarily it's with comprehension. More often than not, I have to read a passage multiple times to understand it. The first time I read it to sound out the words. The second and third times I had to read it to understand what I had just read. Fortunately, I was able to attend St. Andrew Nativity School. I loved it. It's small like Edison, and the teachers and staff really care. At St. Andrew, they saw a pattern of my learning and saw that I was struggling. They brought a lady in who had tested me. She realized that I have a reading difference. Finally, I knew why I was struggling. I felt so relieved. Not only did I know what I had to do to improve, but my teachers knew what they had to do to help me. Ironically, I just found out last month that that lady that had tested me used to work at Edison. My mom began searching for high schools for me. Ms. Schwader, the graduate support director at Nativity, recommended Edison. She said, "That would be a great school for you." My mom learned that Edison takes kids with learning differences. She said, "That's where you're going." I got the last 2 words. Listen. When I shadowed Edison for a full day, I knew it was the place for me. I felt like I belonged. Everyone there was so nice. They made me feel like I had been attending Edison for years. When I came home and told my mom about her day, her eyes filled with tears. She knew that we could not afford Edison. And all the other schools had already denied me. Edison was my last chance. My mom filled out the financial aid forms to see if we qualified for help. My mother is a single parent of 5 children and did not have the money to pay full tuition. We were both scared and excited at the same time. We did not know that there was a place that values kids with learning differences. For African American students, there are added challenges with fitting into school. Edison made me feel welcome, regardless of my ethnicity. Fortunately, I was accepted to Edison. Yes! With Edison's financial aid and my mom's contributions, we were able to afford my dream school. I want to take this moment to thank all of you for helping me attend Edison. I also want to thank my lovely mother for helping me accomplish my dreams and goals. I love you, Mommy. I soon realized that I had to wake up at 5:30 in the morning every day to catch my bus to school. Coming home, I had to catch 2 buses to get home about 5:30. After dinner, I start my homework, and even though the day is long, it's definitely worth it. In the end, I will be successful with a high school diploma and ready for college. After being at Edison last year and this one, I can honestly say I feel very accepted here. The school is small and personal. The teachers are supportive, hands-on, and willing to make accommodations, like extra time on tests and assignments. One thing I really like about being at Edison is I don't have to explain to every single teacher about my reading difference. They all get it. Edison is very welcoming, extraordinary, has a very accepting environment, like I said before. Academically, I now have the tools to stay up in class. For example, I am now listening to the book Anne Frank on an iPod and Miss Robinson's English class, which I don't know where Miss Robinson is. Oh, there she is. Amazing. While I read along. This really helps me with my comprehension. I've also become very good at self-advocating. Since I'm very comfortable at Edison and the teachers are very approachable, I'm more determined to stay up with the class. My GPA has also improved. It's now a 3.0. I now know when I'm having a bad day, and everyone does. I have learned to take my frustration and anger out by talking to my teachers. Sometimes this is enough, or they give me a stress ball or other ideas which helps me. If it's more than that, then I talk to one of my great counselors, Miss Lucas, Miss Kenneth Fleming, or Mr. Dexter. I'm looking around the whole room. They are very comforting, and I just try to remain positive as best I can. Now as a sophomore, my confidence has grown. For example, I am now taking a Spanish 1 class at Spanish 1 at Jesuit. In fact, just last week, I saw a sign in Spanish, and I knew exactly what it meant. It made me so happy. Right now, I'm planning on attending Pepperdine University or a school on the East Coast where my dad lives. I'm not sure which one yet. Heck, I'm only a sophomore. At some point, I would love to study abroad in France. I want to explore the world and be an all-around person. Plus, my sister's name is Paris. My plan is to get my master's and later a doctorate in medicine. I want to be a neurologist down the road. Thanks for listening to my story. Have a great morning.
Good job.